for Dragonborn is Thresh. It's no surprise, Aiden Edward, and there is the Draven. That's a standard ban, and Hosen's like, what the hell? Why are you banning that Draven?
I know they were talking in the game earlier in the lobby, like, come on, let me play him. And of course, Gambit's not going to give that to him. They want to take every win they can get. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Renekton ban come out of either team, to be honest. They don't want Darien playing it, but they also don't want Yamada Cannon on him. And also the jungle. Maybe you want to get Diamond out of his comfort zone eventually. You maybe take away the Nasus, force him to play Volibear, who has changed up a little bit. They do take away the Elise, which we've seen Darien play quite a bit lately in that top lane. Yeah,
Elise out of that one. You can see Dragonborn's there communicating as to what they're going to go for here. With the pick, Spirits look high, and say what you want about Dragonborn's performance, they have fun even when they're losing.
Oh yeah, they are. And taking away that Jarvan right now, we have Maluna, who has played him 3 times and has won 2 of those games with him. So it shows there's a very strong Jarvan, and they don't want to go up against that. Of course, taking away the Kazakhs, you have to take that away from Alex. I mean, he will just pentakill you every opportunity he can get. But that's the thing, like, you have 3 bans against Gambit, and yet you want to ban out at least 12 champions. So it's like choosing the better of all evils.
It's almost better not to just ban anything and just be like, okay, you just come at us, because they've got an alternative for every ban, that's for sure. So what's the third and final ban going to be here then for Gambit? It's going to be Misfortune. So 2 AD carries out of this one. It tells me that Dragonborns might go for an AD carry first.
They would be smart to take Varus right now. Genji doesn't play him too much. He loves that Misfortune, but they're taking that away from Hosan. So that would be a good alternative for him to pick up. But also Jungler is on top of it as well. I mean, you know, there's Volibear, there's Nasus open if they want to go for that. But there's so many key picks that they can go for right now. I'm pretty sure that Dragonborns wasn't expecting 2 AD carries to be banned out.
Yeah, and it looks like Nasus will actually be that choice here from the start of things. So Nasus will be locked in just a second, I'm imagining at least, for from Dragonborn's side of things. And then we'll switch over on towards Gambit. We know that Diamond can play the Nasus well. We know that he can play Volibear, although Volibear not had the most successful times. I think we've seen him pick twice now in his 50%. You know, picked banned once as well, sorry. Won 1 game, lost 1 game. And there is a Darius, a Fiora. I'm just going to be quiet for now, but interested to see what they bring into it. And this is, you know, Gambit is securing that 1st and 2nd spot, which means we could actually see some interesting picks coming out for them, where they, you know, they got less pressure on them now. They can have a bit more fun in terms of what they're going for. And Mumu, we may see from Diamond. He played him before.
They can also practice some like really wacky team compositions that they want to use maybe eventually later on. We saw Curse do that last night just to get a feel of it, to see how it is against the top teams in North America. But we do a Twisted Fate open, and we saw last week with SK dominating Gambit. That was because of Ocelot's Twisted Fate, and yet they do lock in that Sona and that Amumu.
Yeah, and you see Darien on Darius will be great if that happens, and I'll apologize now if that comes out for mistakes when we're in the heat of the team fights. But what are Dragonborn's gonna go for now? Thought that we might see AD carries coming out early, just for the fact that Draven and Misfortune are both out there, but both teams prioritizing elsewhere for their first round of picks. Dragonborn's though now with 2 picks, of course, coming back to them. Surely going to come out here.
And with Thresh taken away, with Sona taken away, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Lulu on Mover to be picked up. I mean, it's a safe pick right now. You want to kind of delay picks if you want, or maybe go, or you maybe want to grab something if you can. Like I said, the Twisted Fate is still open at this point. We have Zed open, which we saw Yamato Cannon play quite a bit of in the top lane. And also the AD carry. I mean, it would be a good time to pick him up if you could.
So there's a Jace, which... we've seen Dragonborns pick Jace before. Now, this is an interesting story about that one. They picked Jace to take it away. I forget which team it was. I think it was against Fnatic, maybe, or... Yeah, I'm going to go with that for now. So they picked him up just to take him away, and then after they locked him in, they said, okay, who's going to play him?
Yeah,
and no one wanted to play him, so hopefully they're a little bit more coordinated than that this week around. But Zed in there as well.
The thing is, we have Zed. That's something Yamato Cannon plays, and then we have Jace. We might potentially see an AD carry Jace over on Hosan with that.
Well,
it's a potential.
It is Dragonborn. They have done some funky stuff. That AP Nidalee Soraka bottom lane, Hosan playing then AP Nidalee in the mid lane, and Shushi coming down as the AD carry. So definitely won't rule it out at this stage of the season. You see there, Alex. He's got a cheeky smile on his face, which could mean some surprises from that side as well. Right now, Genja, no smiles, Ezreal. That's it. We're getting that one straight in there. No messing around. And Renekton is going to be picked up here for Darien.
You guys control, but I want to play my favorite champion. But we do have the Renekton on Darien. We talked about them before being a potential ban. So you don't want to have Darien playing, you don't want to have Yamato Cannon playing him, and yet they are going to give that over to him. And I'm being told last time we saw Mumu actually, played by Diamond, was back at Intel Extreme Masters Katowice, and they kept trying to pull off the Curse Aside Bullet Time combo against Azubu Blaze. Didn't work out.
Yeah, that was in the group stage.
Yeah,
more of a curse of a rubbish sad time is what it turned out to be in the end. It just didn't work at all in the group stage. I mean, they were rubbish in the group stages, to be honest. But they, of course, won the tournament in the end when they beat both of the Korean teams coming into the second and third day.
Italy? Well, we do see Soraka.
Don't like Soraka.
No, you got Nunu yesterday. You don't need Soraka today. You got snowballs, you don't need bananas.
No, you always need bananas, sorry. So, Soraka, Nidalee maybe.
Could be a potential, and that would mean Shushe would be on Jace
and Jace in the middle. Yeah, that's very, very possible here. And it's going to be Kennen. They set us up for it perfectly there, but we got a Soraka, so I'm happy for now.
That won't be an AD Kennen. That's Shushe on Kennen mid lane, I have to say, and we're gonna see AD carry Jace. I mean, we saw Shushe cosplay Kennen at Gamescom last year. Could happen.
Sherlock Holmes, Jason Kaplan. Maybe. Let's see. There's a Karthus being picked up for Alex Ich right now. Whether he'll lock that in or not, we'll see.
Come on, Crystal Ball. Come on, Crystal Ball.
But, you know, you got a Mumu in there. You're going to have Karthus on top of it. You're going to have the Crescendo on top of it. It's everything in one area on the map. Which, you know, we've seen these kind of big AoE comps that sometimes they work out brilliantly and sometimes they turn out to be really bad in the end. But if any team can pull it out and then a twisted fate in the end just to throw me off, it's definitely Gambit.
I was going to say...
My crystal ball is non-existent.
I was going to say, what is the sound it makes when they use all the AoE in one spot?
Blum.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah.
But we do see currently that Hosan is sitting on Kennen still. We have Jace on Shushe right now, but they are known for switching last second. I mean, it's the Dragonborns. You can't forget about that. So we will see if that switches up, and we will let you know, because obviously they're going to do it in the last 2 seconds when you can't actually see the screen.
So, interesting setup from Dragonborns here. Currently, Jace is still with Shushe, so I don't want to really talk about it until we've ended the time here, because it probably is going to be pointless by the end. But Gambit setup, we can definitely talk about, Jason. We are going to get in here. What can we expect, Jason, from level 1?
I wouldn't be surprised to see either team just go invade as much as they want, because like you said before, Gambit, they have their top 2 solidified. Dragonborns, they're solidifying the bottom 2. You have really nothing to lose at this point to just try out new strategies. Looks like both teams just gonna play a little bit safe here. And Joe, I want to point out something that Shushe. So we saw Freddy 1-2 build a little AD in the beginning and then go AP on his Kennen last game in the top lane. But Shushe actually, he's AP, but he has 1% crit. So he's trying to get for like a lucky crit in there and then maybe finish it up with a kill, and we'll see how that works. Yeah,
that's you know, we see a lot of that. Coming in, to be honest, that 1% crit. Sometimes it works out nicely. Sometimes you steal away your teammates' buffs, as we've seen also. I think it was Crepo that actually did that one with the 1% crit in there. So Mover actually going to get himself a ward down. Darien had spotted that because he's down in that bush on the bottom lane.
Yep, so we are having those lane swaps come in, and we have Genjo, a 24 flat armor pen in the top lane with Edward against a Yamato Cannon on Zed with currently 37 armor. So Genja is just going to destroy him if he gets any auto attacks off on him. He's going to get the early level 2 as well, so he's going to be able to push him in the lane quite easily.
Yeah, they're going to be starting up on the top with the golems. We can see Gambit here going to be giving a bit of help to Diamond, who starts off with the wolves. And by help, I mean Darren's just going to steal them all away. And then he will move down towards that blue buff. On the other side, we see Malunu starting with the Wraiths. Shushe helping him out with that one. The bottom lane of Soraka, Jace helping, just taking the golems, and Soraka's going to go up and give a hand with the red buff.
It's actually a pretty smart play to Darren right there to sit that close to the wolves, because he leached a little bit of experience, so he'll hit his level 2 relatively quicker. That way he can't be forced out so easily by Dragonborn, who's going to take the double golems anyways. It's going to help him out quite a bit. Diamond does secure his blue, as it looks like Luna will take that red. So Diamond will potentially be using the top lane after that red buff, since he has that smite available, and Luna might be going towards the top as well, so you might see a really early clash up there.
Oh, there we see Ignite coming down for Darien. Look at this. He's going all in here on towards Hosan. Notices that Moveit's coming around the corner. Hosan going to go in there aggressive as well. And, well, that was a very interesting start to that one. Of course, Barrier Flash. That's a Hosan trademark there. He loves to bait those barrier fights.
Yes, he does. And you saw the top lane right there really quickly on your screen is that how much damage one Q and one auto attack does to Yamato Cannon. Takes him down about 1/5 of his health. and that is not a good sign for Yamato Cannon to be in. He's going to have to build some sort of health to sustain that lane, or get some help from Maluno as well in the top lane.
Maluno is right now doing the blue buff, obviously went smiteless on the red, so that's going to be taken down here in just a second. Diamond actually coming towards the middle area. He does have the double buffs on him right now. He was spotted by a ward headed north, so this attempt at a 3-man gank is, I'm not going to say not going to be successful, but the fact is that Zed is there waiting. Maluno is now coming over the side, going to get the withering onto Diamond, so they know that he's going to be there. Are they just going to go for this one anyway?
They might. I mean, it's at that 330 mark. They have a huge bunch of wave at that turret right now, and they're taking the next wave as well on top of that, and they are going to go for it.
They are going to go. Bandage toss actually misses, but here comes Genja from the top side. There is first blood. Diamond going to flash away from this one. Did lose a little bit of health, but that was so well executed from Gambit. And if you've got that ward there, and you know that's going to happen, why are you still on the turret?
He had no escape, unfortunately, for him.
Well, he did, because he saw him coming in about half an hour before they actually killed him. I don't understand that. Maybe it's just my brain, but I don't understand. Because Nasus had backed off as well. Whatever. First blood coming over for Gambit here with their AD carry, of course, Genja in the top lane.
And you saw it there. We mentioned the armor pen off the Genja for a good point, because you saw how quick Yamato Cannon just got shredded through right there. He's going to have to build something. As you see Maluno going in on the top lane.
Yeah, going to go in for this one. Actually, Edward will be forced to flash away. Genja being slowed down here by that red buff. He uses his flash to escape back towards the turret, and Dragonborn's putting some good pressure back, but not quite kills. Darien also going low in the bottom lane. I'm assuming that was the shot blast coming through. And Shushay is going to go in here on towards Alex Ich. Ignite is ticking on Shushay. He needs one more card. There's a flash from both, but they both did it simultaneously. And Alex not quite able to get that final hit off.
And that was Shushay being very aggressive there, trying to show his mastery of this Kennen. Unfortunately, he did lose that side of the trade. He is ahead in CS right now, though, which is going to help him out quite a bit. Maluno is sticking by this lane, so he wants to make sure he doesn't miss this wave at all or get forced out right away, as they could potentially go for him here with a nice wither, but they don't really know. Actually, I was about to say, they don't really know where Diamond is, but they do see him in the bottom lane, so they don't know where Darien is.
Yeah, Darien going to be coming back down to that one. As I said before, did get low, so probably expected that he's just gone home from that one. Alex going to come back into lane with double Doran Ring plus the Boots of Speed. Genja also got Boots of Speed, Vamp Scepter, and that Doran's Blade from earlier on, so he's going to be coming back doing even more damage now on towards Zed.
And we talked about Twisted Fate earlier on today when we saw him, is that he can be so impactful in the game. We saw Bjergsen use him quite extensively into the top lane, picking up those kills on Renekton over and over again. And we'll see what if Alex decides to do that. I mean, you have the bottom, like we mentioned before, you have the stun out of Darien, you have the top lane stun out of Edward when he hits level 6, you have the damage out of Genja, which we already saw against Yamato Cannon. Every lane is really a strong possibility.
As Mover just recalling from that one. Darien going to have a bit of time here to get some CS under his belt. Zed, despite that death earlier on, does have more minions than Renekton at this point. We're seeing a couple of Spirit Stones coming out, obviously one for each jungler, Crystalline Flask for both, and Amumu, because of that assist from earlier on, does have the Boots of Speed in there as well.
Yeah, that Flask is going to come really in handy, because you rely on so much mana as a Nasus and an Amumu in the jungle, and just being like 10 mana short of your ultimate can completely change the way a game's going to pan out. So let's see how well that works out for him. And he's also close to level 6, which is where his ganks are really going to come in. We do have Alex who's level 6 right now. The lane is pushed up, and he is actually making a move towards his top side, it looks like.
Yeah, he's going to be trying to work himself, and maybe not, or just take the race, yeah. But Hosan and Mover will be going to this top lane now, so we are going to see head-to-head. Gambit, of course, with that first blood under their belt. Although Jace, with a double Doran's Blade in there, is still going to be doing a lot of damage.
And then you have in the bottom lane that 1v1 with Yamato Cannon and Darien. Darien is level 6 right now, Yamato Cannon is 5, as Darien should be able to harass him quite a bit and maybe even push him out. Diamond getting caught here as he gets hit with the Wither.
Yeah, Wither goes down, but we are going to see them pushing into this one. Not quite up to his ultimate, but Shushay does have his ulti, and Diamond gets completely caught out of position there. Face checking right into that bush, and that will be a good kill back for Dragonborns. And that kill going down to Shushay.
Yeah, much needed kill. I mean, he wasn't losing his lane in any way, but he's going to need this farm. He's going to need the extra gold to keep up with Twisted Fate, who can just roam around so much easier than he can. Not to mention that passive off of TF to give him that extra gold income. The top lane stabilized a little bit here as you see Alex trying to go in, just trying to harass him, but those double Doran's Blades going to give Shushay quite a bit of sustain.
Yeah, definitely will, and also makes his auto attacks very, very painful when he goes through as well. We can see that Genja and Edward are pushing this wave of minions up towards that Dragonborn turret as well. So now we know Edward really loves to be very, very aggressive there, putting as much damage out as he can. And that is certainly playing into their hands here as well.
I'm a little surprised to see actually Hossein go for a tier. When we saw him play AP Nidalee with Soraka in the lane, he just went full AP because he knew he had the constant mana over and over from his Soraka, but this time he's going for it, so he's looking for a little bit more of a poke comp, I guess, a little more late game here, and we'll see how that works out, see if it will delay his build a little bit too long.
We can see that Genja really playing on the limits of that turret, and that's because we are going to see Twisted Fate coming in. Hossein gets locked up. Twisted Fate at the back. He's going to go down there. Edward actually was tanking the turret. Will fall. It's Jace that gets that kill, but Alex Hitch picks up another one. And actually, Soraka, they're doing a great job movement. Managed to pick off another one on towards Ezreal. 2 for 2.
Genja overstayed a little bit too long. Looks like the aggro of the turret wasn't separated correctly right there. So 2 for 2 trade in the end. Great job, but Gambit still comes out ahead because they have those extra assists on the Alex, who picks up his first kill. And of course, Genja picking up 1 kill for himself as he does pick up a Vamp Scepter. And we see Hossein actually go for his cooldown boots, so he really wants to poke a lot. But you're against a Sona who can sustain quite well.
Now we just saw there, pings coming down into River. Maluno had started to go back up north there, but they realize he's not coming past the ward. He's either in our jungle or he's going to be hanging around at that bottom lane. Maluno actually will recall from that one. So Darian not in any immediate danger from that side of things, and just as he recalls, he's going to go straight in on towards Yamato Cannon.
He's getting some good damage onto him. Not as much as Genja was doing earlier, but it's enough to really put some fear into Yamato Cannon's eyes. And you're seeing Diamond. I mean, he does this on his Nasus. He likes to go for very early dragons, and yet he's doing it on this Amumu here. Alex will be coming down. No words currently for Dragonborns, and he will be able to pick up this first dragon. Yeah,
Diamond likes to do it on his everything, I think. As early as he can get in onto that dragon. We saw a 3-minute dragon from him earlier in the season when he played Udyr. This one not quite as fast, but it's a dragon nonetheless, and that will give them that nice lead. Genja right now, he's been tormented a little bit on his own turret. Level 7 Hossein with the Boots of Lucidity being added into his build now.
Darren in the bottom lane could potentially go for a kill very soon. I mean, he has his Ignite available, he has his ultimate, and he could burst down Zed if he wants to. And then Genja the top end, I mean, with that Vamp Scepter and that BF Sword, even without Sona there, you see his sustain. It's just ridiculous, and all the poke in the world won't really keep him out of this lane at all.
Yeah, and dodging nicely there as Alex Hitch headed north. I think he was thinking about it there. Do I pop the Destiny? Are we going to go for this one? Not just yet. Pink ward down from Edward will secure that Tri-Bush, but Maluno is up in the Gambit jungle.
He's trying to go for a red still here. As I say that, he just puts a ward and walks away, but he's just trying to get vision of where Diamond is. His ultimate is available, so he wants to make sure to spot him. And he might even stick around long enough to actually take away this red.
Well, he's going to put the Spirit Fire down there. As Edward taking a lot of damage in this top lane, but there we see the crescendo coming out. Hossein turns around there on towards Edward, but Genja is a bit of a menace. He's right up in their face. There's acceleration gate, which will get him away. Meanwhile, Shushay is pushing it on towards Diamond, and that's all from that ward that we saw earlier. Twisted Fate, though, he's going into the top lane. They're going to catch Hossein out. Needs a stun card here for Mover if they're going to turn this one up as well. There is the stun coming in. Have they got the damage? One more may just do it, but Gambit, after staying around too earlier, don't want to do that the same here. Genja low on mana right now. Shushay pushing in right on top of him. Maluno is actually going in towards Edward. Is Genja gonna fall? He gets stunned up. Mover has gone down. Maluno will finish off the kill on Edward. And now Shushay's getting turned upon. Can they finish off? There's the Wither. That will keep him alive. And that was a crazy fight in this top lane.
And Edward, in true Edward style, flashes in and with the power chord and the Q, kills Mover in the end right there. So he was able to pick up 1 for 1. He knew he was dead anyways. Might as well get a kill from it and get an extra item on top of that. But a great turnaround from Dragonborns. Like you mentioned, it all started with that ward in the red bush. Able to catch Diamond. That's a second death of the game now, and then able to turn it around for them going towards that top side to pick up another kill.
Really well played. Still, though, they are 2,000 gold behind. And we've seen consistently that Gambit, they've fallen behind many a game in terms of kills, but they always manage to stay ahead when it comes to gold. They took that first dragon down. Still no turrets have been picked off in this game up until now, but you know, the CS is pretty even. In some areas in their favor, some areas just a little bit behind, but you know, that's a good sign for them overall because you know, kills don't directly win games. You have to do something with it.
Yeah, very true. And you have to make sure you get the right items on top of that. But we do see the first turn of the game going down in that top lane for Dragonborns. And it looks like with Yamato Cannon backing out that he actually might go up towards that top side yet again. and allow his AD carry support lane to go up against Darien, who's already doing such a great job. He's ahead in CS. He almost has a Sunfire cape built as well.
Thing is, Dragonborns have good poke in here as well, with especially with Hosan. And with that Ken throwing the shurikens in there as well. But Hosan is going to be the one that tries to keep them off these turrets while they get those auto attacks in there to get them down. We'll see if they can do anything on that mid turret as Alexic just throws the ward in position. Maluno actually going to tank up here. A few auto attacks coming off. And do that 5 or 6 times and you've got rid of the outer middle turret. As we are going to see Yamato Cannon here getting very, very low in that bottom lane. And Darien in the end decides not to force through with it, but Yamato kind of can't stick around for that one. Definitely not.
Yeah, he was forced to pop his red pot as well because it was that close of a fight. We do have the ultimate backup on a movement now, so if they want to go for an engage on this middle lane, they could have it happen. And of course, Alex, he has his Destiny available on top of that. He's getting the blue buff, so you might expect him to do it soon, because he'll obviously have a really reduced cooldown on it. But still, Hosan and Mover are sticking around the middle lane. They want to try to get this turret down, it looks like. But that turret's still relatively healthy, and with Edward sticking around to heal up Alex, there's really no way they can get to it.
Yeah, less than 2 minutes for the Dragon to come up. Now we see Darien just taking the minions before they can get into that lane. That turret going dangerously low and will fall, if not with this wave, but with the one afterwards. There's Maluno just spotting Diamond, sneakily trying to take away the golems. And I think Diamond did in fact pick them up there in the end as well. Nicely done.
And now Gambit answers with their own turret for themselves. Dragon will be up in a minute's time. As Genja is just farming away. I mean, he's pretty far ahead of Hosan right now, even in terms of build, because that Bloodthirster versus the Metamune is very one-sided affair. The Metamune is not really going to kick in until you turn it into that Mirror Mana, which obviously was changed in this patch to have do attack damage instead of magic damage. But Hosan, they have a lot of poke, but they don't have a lot of damage on him, so the poke's really not doing too much. And when you have that sustain with Sona, you have the tankiest out of the team, it's not going to work out as well as he hopes for it.
So Dragon is now less than a minute away. Gambit have controlled it generally in the games that we've seen them from them before, even when being behind on the kills. As that was a little bit strange. Hosan just missing his cue completely from that one. Darien is actually walking all the way through the jungle right now of the Dragonborns, just checking if the reds there, just sauntering on through. No real worries for him in that one. Hosan here is still managing to farm up, but Dragon coming up very shortly. There is Destiny pop. Hosan gonna get stunned up from this one, will knock Alex away, has to flash over, but here is Darien landing the stun in there, and Darien will pick up the kill.
That reaction time, holy crap, Joe. You saw Hosan flash for the wall, but Darien's like, I'm right behind you, man, and came in with the Slice Nice, got the stun, and of course Dragon up in 10 seconds. They can take that as well on top of that, but they are going for a lot of aggression on the middle lane. Dragonborn's trying to get this turret down, but you have Gambit coming in from the middle lane to stop this. Oh,
if a bandage toss lands here, they may just go in for it, and well, they did try and hit Shushay, but not quite connecting. Obviously did have Curse of the Sad Mummy available, so they might have just tried to lock Shushay out of that one. And then with that Dragon coming up, go about that. Diamond, as per usual, going to start off on his own.
Yeah, but look at the bottom lane right now. We have Alex pushing that second tier turret. Dragonborns have to react this somewhat. Hosan's trying to get down to that lane. Looks like the rest of Dragonborns are going to come down. And we have Diamond trying to solo this Dragon currently, and he might get caught here.
Well, they've not seen him up until now. And he is incredibly, I was going to say incredibly low. It's still a half HP. He's been doing it for ages up until now. But they're going to leave him to do that one. Darien is going to get caught here. There's the ultimate coming out of Ezreal. Darien going very, very low. Will be finished off. Well, the Dragon has been finished. That bottom inner turret didn't quite die, though. But look, nice job from Hosan, that.
Yeah, and look what Dragonborn's actually blew on that. I mean, they used the Kennen ultimate, they used the Nasus ultimate. We have Gambit coming in from the side with the and it's not landing on the right target, or else we could see an engage come out of them. Yeah, they've got Crescendo available. They've got Curse of the Sad Mummy. The True Shot Barrage can come across the entire team if they're lined up from it as well. So we'll see what Dragonborns decide to do. For now, it looks like they're quite content with trying to get rid of this outer turret in that middle lane. But watch for a Mumu here. Diamond off towards the side. Genja actually getting withered up. And with that, not going to go in for the push. And one thing we haven't touched on, Joe, that is a huge factor in how this game is going to go is Mover on Soraka with the ultimate. Like, that wish can really catch you off guard. If you try to go for a dive, you can turn the tides of a battle very easily. Just like we saw Gambit go for an engage here, that ultimate healing 5 people that much is just ridiculous. Haven't seen him use it just yet, but obviously we'll see it happen in the team fights later on. Yeah, but look at this Gambit. They forced Dragonborns to go away, or Dragonborns just ran out of minions there, and then almost end up losing their own middle outer turret just because they have backed away from that one. That just goes back to the whole give them a finger, they'll take your whole arm. Yeah, that's very true. And then you see, you know, Genja right now. We talked about him as a highlighted player because he's very aggressive yesterday with that GA as his second item. Looks like he's doing it yet again, so we'll go for the same kind of build. And we already saw him like right there when they're defending the turret, when Dragonborn just sieging it. He arcane shifted into Dragonborns. Like you just see how aggressive he is, and yet he wasn't really afraid of that.
Yeah, and he's going to head down to that bottom lane for a good chunk of farm from this one as well. But that's going to mean that Dragonborns do take down their second turret here. Nice pickup in the outer middle lane.
And that was bound to happen either way with how low it really was. And we talked about Genja as well, just likes to farm up quite a bit. He kind of disappears in the middle of the game. You forget about him, but he comes back with like 6 items and completely catches you off guard. Again, it's still in control of this game. They are up about 2,000 gold. It's tied in kills. Dragonborns do have the advantage in turrets. And that lane phase is pretty much over at this point, though Alex has still been able to commit some kills around the map.
Yeah, he's 1-0-4 right now. Lichbane along with that needlessly large rod. Hosan just making his presence felt there as he throws the shock blast through that acceleration gate. But in the middle lane, we can talk about the builds there because Kennen going for Haunting Guys, Seeker's Arm Guard. So he's doing what Freddy didn't do in that last game and get himself up towards that Zhonya's Hourglass. And
you see how deadly it is in that last fight that we saw happen. Like, his ultimate just shredded the enemy team.
Darren's going in for that one, and, well, just as I interrupt you, he backed away.
But we see how strong Kennen can be. That ultimate can really catch you off guard, and that Zhonya's is going to keep you alive quite well against his team. But Gambit, who's so organized in these team fights, like, they will burst you down so quick before you can even react to it normally.
Darren is looking for turret number 2 for Gambit. Obviously, he was the one that got the outer bottom turret, and he's going to take the outer top turret as well. So doing a great job. And Gambit going to get middle as well. And where are Dragonborns in all this?
They were heading towards top, and just were a little bit late. I mean, that's what Gambit does really well, is that it can catch you off guard. Like you get them going one way, and Gambit will just take the other side of the map from you. And then pick up 2 turrets concurrently like that is a very nice chunk of gold. And it looks like Darren's just going to keep pushing this top lane against his brother. And we'll see if Dragonborns can pick up a kill on him, because he's very tanky already at this point. Yeah,
he's got some fire cape in there. Merc treads Doran's blade and a cloth armor as he just backs off and goes back in. Alex Ich, of course, with that Lichbane, he's going to be doing some serious chunks of damage to those towers.
Yes, he can. I mean, you take a look at the bottom turret, which already got down to about 5th health just from pushing that for a little bit. So you should try to go in a little bit here on the mid lane onto Edward, but isn't able to get that stun down on him.
Yeah, Alex able to zone him out there just with the stun card pulled, and that's enough to force you to start to back away. Xushi is still going here, though, over towards Edward. He will, though, be poked back from that one. Maluno going in on towards Darian as well. Zed is going to be coming up towards his top side, but look at the amount of wards down for Gambit right now on the top side of that Dragonborn's jungle. They've got full vision there.
Yeah, it looks like they want to make a play over towards his top side as well, because Darien, like they know his downside is that he's really aggressive and he gets caught quite a bit, so they're warding for that, and they actually might make a play off knowing that.
Well, they are going to be taking away the blue buff from this one, but here comes Xushi. Darien going to flash over the side. Diamond not quite getting caught up in the stun there, but at the same time, Alex is pushing through this middle lane. Genja pushing the bottom lane out. Hosan is defending that one, though.
And that the split push that comes out of Gambit right now with that Twist of Fate is just so deadly. The bot turret already low. He's already doing it to the middle turret with the Lichbane and the not the Death Cap, the Nuclear Large Rod. He just does so much damage to these turrets, and who can really 1v1 him at this point? I think if Xushi all into me could. We see Diamond actually going over that wall, and that might be a mistake.
Yeah, that was an interesting move, going straight in there over the top onto the Wraiths. 3 men from Dragonborns in the immediate area, but he didn't really seem to care too much as he just backed away from it, taking a little bit of damage as he goes. Hosan here just waiting around that red buff. They know that that Gambit have got good vision in their jungle, and they know that they need to be careful in terms of where they're stepping out and with, you know, how many members they end up doing that. We've got some new items coming into this one, or new items, they call them, obviously some new buys, let's say. The Guardian Angel for Genja. We saw that, we talked about it in the pregame. Bloodthirster, Guardian Angel, he can afford to be a lot more aggressive now.
And he will do that, matter of fact. I mean, the thing is, if he does go in and get caught and die, look what you have to back him up. You have a Mumu come in to lock him down with the ultimate, so you have a way to get out as Genja. You also have Darren, who will just be this giant crocodile in the middle of him, stunning up people, also doing some damage. And then you also have the stun out of Alex, so he can afford to go in and die, and then he has his whole team to back him up, even with the crescendo. Like, you'll kill him, but you'll commit so many resources to it that Gambit will return the fight.
We just see Jace coming in to cover. Darian is now split push in the top lane, so it's just all coming at once here for Dragonborns. Top lane being pushed, bottom lane being pushed. Twisted Fate, though, is there. The Dragon is available.
And Dragonborns aren't reacting to this. They're letting it push that top lane. They're going to try to take Dragon here, but they might lose a team fight.
Well, let's see how it goes. Genja taking a wither there coming out, but here comes Diamond. Where is the curse of the Sad Mummy? There is a crescendo, first of all, and there is the curse. It locks up 3 members. First kill for Alex Ich. Zed is going to go down. Diamond going to dive back in. Genja at the back is taking on Hosan and Move It right now, but Maluno and Shushe are both very, very low. Diamond continues to move in. Here comes Twisted Fate, stun Shushe. Wild cards don't connect onto Maluno. There is Hosan from the side as well, but Gambit is still going. Flash and the stun card and the wild cards. Perfectly done from Alex Ich. And Darian is still pushing the top lane. We are going to see the inner die there on that bottom lane. Darian, of course, finished the inner top turret, and now they're going straight onto this inhibitor turret in the bottom and the top lane at the same time.
That was a 5v4 for Gambit, or sorry, 4v5 for Gambit, and they still came out ahead, winning that fight completely, not losing anyone on their team. Darian just took 2 turrets in a row on the top side. They take the bottom inhibitor turret. They're going to get the bottom inhibitor off of that. That was just, it was a major misplay by Dragonborns and a major capitalization on that out of Gambit.
You know things aren't going your way when 3 out of your 5 players have got double Doran's somethings. 2 Doran's blades there on Zed, 2 on Kennen, 2 on Hosan as well. And ironically, the Dragon, after that fight, is still available.
They weren't able to burst it down. They just got caught out of position. And I mean, we talked about giving Gambit a finger. They just took the arm right there off of the Dragonborns. They just completely punished them for that little bit of a mistake that happened. They should have locked down that Dragon. It looks like they will out of Alex.
Well, they missed that one, but they are going to be charging into this one. They're going to go for Alex Ich. Gets the stun card down. Curse of the Sad Mummy comes in, but the Death Mark finishes off. Double kill coming out there for Zed. Nice play out of Yamato Cannon, but now Gambit might try and go for them. No, they won't. They just want that blue.
Well, I mean, the thing is, with how far ahead they are right now, they have the bomb inhibitor down, so that lane's going to keep pushing constantly. They have the top inhibitor open if they want to go for a Dragon, or actually Dragonborns are going for a Desperation Baron right now. It's a smart play, but I don't know if they have the damage to actually take it down right now.
It is a Desperation Baron, that's for sure. They've fallen over 10,000 gold behind. This will be a massive coup for them in this match, but can they do it without Gambit realizing? The answer to that one, of course, is already no. As Hosan misses a bit more poke, and Darian is right in the middle of them there. Baron is still dropping off. Genja going to arcane shift away from the ultimate there. Keeps doing a bit of damage from the side. Darian's actually done a good job. Even though he's gone down, he's already started off getting them very, very low. There is Wish coming out of Mover. Genja takes a shot blast to the face. Was withered as well. There is a great bandage toss landing from Diamond. Doesn't have Curse of the Sad Mummy available to him just yet. And look at this, 4v2, and Gambit are chasing them. They're running scared at this point, and that is 4 versus 2, and they're running away. Make that 3 because Twisted Fate is going to join the party. Maluno going to go down. Soraka going to go down. Shushe being chased. Where's the stun card? Minions blocking Alex, and that doesn't quite land either there. The bandage toss from Diamond, but they're going to secure inhibitor number 2.
And you have to look at that whole fight from the beginning where Darian was 1v5 even against Baron, so 1v6. And the entire time was able to pick up a kill. He ended up dying for it, but that whole chase out of Gambit was able to catch Dragonborns off guard. The entire super minion wave on the bot lane was able to push up, kill a Nexus turret on its own. Gambit looks like they're going to be able to finish up this game.
Yeah, there's a crescendo coming in. Shushe having to use his Zhonya's Hourglass Yamato cannons there. As the Zhonya's runs out, actually Twisted Fate that gets it, but the ultimate came out of Genja as well. And they're falling like flies, as are the Nexus turrets. Nexus going to be focused in, or will Gambit go for a couple more cheeky kills here at the end? Genja's certainly trying it, but the Nexus will die. And Gambit are going to take down Dragonborns here in a very much one-sided affair. The kills, 14 for 9 in the end. Don't really tell the whole story of that game. Gambit really did control it.